Maya arrives at the Shahryar mansion, its imposing gates, a stark reminder of lost dreams. The mansion looms before her, a symbol of her shattered love with Armaan. She pauses, the weight of what should have been crushing her. A wife, not a mistress. A wedding ceremony bathes Maya's family home in a joyous light, but shadows of unease linger in Armaan's eyes. Armaan's distant gaze betrays a hidden turmoil as he says, "I do." With a sharp, decisive turn, Armaan shatters the celebration, his abrupt departure leaving behind a wake of stunned silence. Confusion and disbelief ripple through the stunned wedding guests, their joyful murmurs turning to whispers of speculation. Armaan, consumed by anger, argues heatedly over the phone. His voice escalates. "If Maya ever sets foot in our family home, I will leave the country forever." A distraught voice echoes from the other end. But Armaan. Maya stands before her father's house, her shoulders slump with unspoken devastation. She takes a deep breath, attempting to compose herself. Maya steels herself to be strong for her father. Back in the present, Maya approaches the imposing gates of Shahryar mansion. Maya speaks, her voice clear and confident. "Armaan has asked me to come." The guard eyes Maya with suspicion. The guard makes a call to Ruby, seeking confirmation. Entering the Shahryar mansion grounds, I am struck by its overwhelming opulence. Fairy lights illuminate lush gardens as I navigate the gravel path towards the grand entrance. My heart pounds as I approach the door, a mix of anticipation and apprehension filling me. Armaan sits alone in his room, lost in a labyrinth of thoughts. Maya's words echo in his mind, stirring a storm of conflicting emotions. He grapples with unspoken questions, unable to accept the thought of Maya with another. Alone in the hotel room, Armaan sits with a haunted look, the wedding night replaying in his mind. The stark white sheets, stained with blood, serve as a jarring reminder of Maya's innocence. Why would she lie? Why claim to have been with others when she was a virgin? Armaan wonders, his voice heavy with confusion. Armaan sits alone in his dimly lit room, shadows stretching around him, lost in thought. He remembers calling the club owner, the details vivid in his mind. The memory of paying a large sum to buy Maya replays, sharp and clear. Annoyance washes over him as he questions his actions. "Why am I so invested in her?" he whispers, the question hanging in the air. The sound of a knock shatters the silence, pulling Armaan from his thoughts. The door creaks open, and Ruby enters. Ruby's voice cuts through the air. "Maya has arrived." Armaan responds, his voice carrying a note of anticipation. "Send Maya to my room." Maya steps into the room, her gaze immediately drawn to Armaan, who sits motionless on the sofa. She watches him quietly, attempting to decipher the emotions hidden behind his closed eyes. Armaan's eyes flutter open, revealing a world of weary cynicism. A sardonic expression twists his features, hinting at a hidden storm within. Armaan sneers, dismissing Maya's attire with a contemptuous gesture. "Were you planning to meet someone else dressed like that?" Armaan challenges, his voice dripping with suspicion. Maya retorts calmly, "I was going to change at a hotel." Armaan rolls his eyes, a smirk playing on his lips as Maya speaks. Maya states, "Let's skip the small talk and get to business. I want to leave quickly." Armaan's eyes narrow, his face hardening. Armaan commands, "Cook my dinner and do it yourself." Maya refuses. "I refuse to act as your maid." Armaan's voice fills the room, ice cold as he reminds Maya of their arrangement. He asserts his dominance. "I bought you for a month. You will do whatever I say, including cooking." Armaan's whisper is a stark threat, each word a calculated strike. Maya's skin crawls with discomfort, a visceral response to Armaan's chilling command. Maya stands defiant, filling the room with her anger. Armaan watches her, his face a mask of coldness. Maya's voice cuts through the silence. "I'm here to please you in bed, not do housework." Armaan responds icily. "Did you read the contract? It stated you would obey all my instructions." Maya stands frozen, disbelief evident on her face. No such contract was mentioned, Maya says. Armand replies calmly. Check your bag. The papers should be there. A sudden memory flashes. Signing a document hastily at the club, Maya opens her bag, the air thick with unspoken tension. She pulls out the file. I read the contract, my world shattering as I realize the extent of Armand's deception. Maya stands frozen, the contract a stark betrayal in her hands. The contract's terms dictate complete obedience, trapping her in domestic servitude. Refusal brings financial ruin and the end of her dreams. Armand watches Maya, a cruel smile twisting his lips. Armand speaks, his voice dripping with malice. You thought you were clever, didn't you? But now you're trapped in a contract of your own making. Maya confronts Armand, her words sharp with betrayal. You set me up, didn't you? You knew I wouldn't read the contract. Armand responds coldly. You threw your dignity away. Now you'll live with the consequences. Maya's eyes fill, holding back tears as she crumples the paper in her hands. I defiantly agree to cook his dinner, warning him not to think he has won. Armand's cruel. Smirk mocks Maya's deepest fears. Armand sneers, his words dripping with contempt. You already lost a long time ago. Maya walks into the kitchen, overwhelmed by the sheer size and unfamiliarity of the space. The weight of months without cooking settles upon her as she pauses, unsure where to start. Taking a deep breath, Maya steels herself to begin. In the kitchen, Maya busies herself, her movements precise as she starts preparing dinner. The stove ignites with a burst of flame, casting a warm glow across the room as Maya starts cooking. Oblivious to the sharp sting, Maya continues peeling potatoes, her thoughts distant and consuming. Maya remembers a time when Armand was tender and loving, memories of a love she once believed in. She remembers their wedding night, a night that never came to be, leaving only emptiness. Maya sits alone, her hands decorated with fresh mehndi, waiting with hopeful anticipation. The minutes pass, and a hollow ache begins to bloom in Maya's chest as Armand does not arrive. He disappears, leaving no trace, as Maya's hopeful anticipation turns to hollow disappointment. In the kitchen, a sense of urgency fills the air as something burns. I react instantly, pouring water into the pan to prevent disaster. I try to keep the food from sticking, a metaphor for my own struggle to contain my emotions. An hour later, Maya enters Armand's room, a dinner tray in her hands. Armand sits on the sofa, the amber liquid of whiskey swirling in his glass. Maya silently sets the tray before him, the unspoken words hanging heavy in the air. Armand sits at the table, his gaze fixed expectantly on Maya. He asks, "What did you make?" Maya replies, "Rice, dal, fried potatoes." Armand's expression changes as he asks sharply, "Why is there no meat?" Maya retorts, "I didn't see any in the fridge." Armand chews thoughtfully, surprised by the taste. "I cooked to survive this month." "Not for you," Maya declares. Armand looks up, his gaze sharp and assessing. He warns her, "Surviving might get harder if you keep that attitude." Maya meets Armand's gaze, her defiance unwavering. Maya stands, her eyes burning with defiance as she confronts Armand. She challenges, "Go ahead and break me, but do not forget you already lost me once." Her voice cracks with emotion, but her spirit remains unbroken. "Whatever you think this is, it is not power, it's just cruelty wearing a suit."